Hello
Hello.
everybody.
What's
How's
up?
everybody doing? Welcome.
Hello.
All right, so let's get the show started. I want everybody to give a round of applause to our new permanent co-host, Miss Nicole.
Woo!
Thank you. Yes.
Welcome. Thank
Ladies
you.
night. Oh, what a night.
This is the ladies show, and we've
Yes.
got our lovely Nicole, who's also a co-host, as everybody knows, on the NFC South show. Make sure you guys tune in to those shows. It features one of our lovely co-host Kate's favorite team and favorite quarterback. She's wearing his jersey, Mr. TB12.
Yes, I am. I'm representing for Tommy tonight.
Yes. So if you want to hear more about the NFC South and how they're doing, make sure you tune in to the NFC South show with our lovely Nicole, Andrew, and Kyle. So, all right, let's get the show started. So, just wanted to take a moment to say that, yesterday, December 7th, was Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day in the United States. And, if everybody knows, that's the day that, that the bombs were dropped on Pearl Harbor. And so we do recognize that in the U.S. as a U.S. holiday. So I wanted to make sure we just took a moment to recognize that day.
My
So
grandfather served in World War II in the Pacific.
really, wow.
Because of the bombing of Pearl Harbor, he enlisted and served our country as a medic in the Gulf. So, yeah, he was over there, and it's quite a story he has to tell. So, I'm glad
Wow.
we're remembering this day because I am so proud of my grandfather that he took the courage to enlist and become part of the armed services and served in World War II.
Well, thank you to
That's
your
awesome. Thank you.
grandfather. It's definitely a day for him.
hmm
So,
It
wow, here
even
we go. Yeah.
it reaches even my grandpa actually served in the World War II. Yeah,
Yeah,
the thing. So it reaches all of us,
it does.
Yeah,
all around the world for sure.
the
Yeah.
greatest generation.
hmm
Thank you. Thank you to your grandfather for serving as well,
Sean,
Nicole, and
wow.
Sean's uncle.
hmm
So
Wow.
wow, yeah. So definitely wanted to make sure we remember that day. Another item that we need to remember is like Brittany Griner's home. I just wanted to share
Yes.
that. She's
Yay.
home after
Safe
being
and sound.
imprisoned, and just want to make sure that we recognize that she is home finally with her family. So,
Yes.
Such a
all right,
great day that it is for that.
yes. And
hmm
then also, Sean wanted us to remind everybody that he's also on an NFC South show. I'm sorry, Sean.
As a Panthers fan. No, I'm kidding.
I thought it was his brother, but okay, that's all good. That's all gravy. All right, so we changed the order a little bit. Normally, we do women in the NFL and all that good stuff, but since our show is on during the actual Thursday night game, we thought we would start off with our Thursday night predictions. And so, Nicole, what do you think? Raiders versus Rams. Who gets a W? If you want to give a score, you can. If not, you can just give us a W. So let's start with you.
I'm gonna be nice to my fiance's sister, and Andrea. Hello in Calgary. They're a Raiders fan, and I will stand for them just for this one night. Yeah, the Rams. It'll be interesting to see, but I'm gonna give it to the Raiders. It's going to be a 34-24 game. I think there's going to be some touchdowns for sure.
Oh wow, 30 for 24. That's a high scoring game.
hmm
All right, should be
Yes.
exciting. I hope so because these Thursday night games have been awful. So I hope that goes the way you say at least. All right, Kate, what do you think? Who gets the W? And if you want to give a score, go for it.
With excuse me for my voice tonight. I'm under the weather but still wanted to do the show. But I'm going with the Raiders on this one just because they've been doing so well. Josh Jacobs has been running amazingly for that team. We
hmm
have Derek Carr with Devontae Adams. Their defense seems to be stepping up in clutch games. So I'm going Raiders. Right now, I didn't see who it was. I'm watching the game as we do the show. There's an injured Raider right now, but I'm going to go Raiders 24-10.
All right. Nice job. Everybody out there watching, go ahead and let us know, who do you think is the W? We know the game just started. It's 0-0 right now. If you want to know, 0-0. And Raiders got the ball. Tell us your prediction for Thursday Night Football. Who gets the W, Rams or Raiders? All right. I'm just going to break the tie just to be one of those people. So I'm going to go with the Rams. I don't think it'll be a blowout game. I think it'll be more 21-27. Rams by a touchdown. All right. So anybody else out there, what do you think? Give us your prediction. Ooh, Sean has a similar prediction to myself.
Oh.
It's just we're just following the pattern of Thursday Night Football. They haven't been great.
No,
So-
they haven't.
All right. Yeah, but it should be exciting to see, like you said, Josh Jacobs get out there. So here we go. Some predictions. I need Raiders to have a big game. I had to start Derek Carr this week in fantasy.
Oh,
man.
no. That's
oh
rough.
no. Yeah, I got you. A tie. Oh no, we don't need no more ties. Especially on the NFC side for the Rams.
No.
No.
Oh wow. Hey, who knows? We've seen Stranger Things, right?
Mhm.
Right.
No more ties. See, exactly.
It's Business Thursday.
I'm telling you. All right. So those are our predictions. Keep sharing your predictions. What do you think? Who gets that W today? And then before we move on to our regular segments, if you want to take a quick water break, go for it. We'll be right back.
Nice.
Of course, you're on our show. Let's promote your show too.
Very nice.
Absolutely. All right, we're moving on to our next segment, one of our favorites on this show.
I'm all about women empowerment. I mean, it's one of the things that I talked about when bringing this topic into this group. I really respect women and their roles, and I think a woman's place can be in the NFL. And
Uh-oh.
All right. So 2 days, women in the NFL. We are talking about Milan Burgess. Kate will be back. She's just having technical difficulties. She's on her phone. So, but let's go on with the show. So again, today we are talking about Milan Burgess, who is the football operations coordinator at the Minnesota Vikings. She actually is from Minnesota. She's from Minneapolis. She went to high school in a suburb outside of Minneapolis called Breck. And so who she is, she actually went to Loyola University in Chicago for about a year. She studied sports management and was a triple jumper on their Division I track and field team. In 2017, she transferred to Kate's favorite school, which is too bad she can't see this right now, but she'll see it later. She can't see it live, but she transferred to Michigan. So she didn't finish out her bachelor's degree at Loyola. She transferred to the Loyola University to Michigan. So I'm glad you made it for that, because our woman in the NFL transfers from Loyola to University of Michigan. So at the University of Michigan, Milan continued her sports management major. She also added a minor in business from the Stephen M. Ross School of Business and joined the university's varsity co-ed cheerleading team, as well as continued doing track and field at the University of Michigan.
Wow.
While there, she did a whole bunch of athletics and other extracurricular activities. Throughout that time there, She cheered year-round at varsity sporting events, included but not limited to, because she was a cheerleader, the football team, men's and women's basketball teams, the women's volleyball team, and even wrestling. In April of each year, the cheerleading team competed at the National Cheerleaders Association, the Nationals competition in Daytona, Florida. If people if you've seen Bring It On, you know what this is.
I love that movie.
Me too. So, where she competed and the rest of her cheer team against schools across the country for a national title. In her 3 years on the team, they won back-to-back national championships in 2 different divisions in 2019 and 2021. So she is a national cheerleaders champ with Kate's favorite school, University of Michigan. So even the cheerleaders win championships, Kate. Outside of athletics, she also served as secretary and treasurer on the executive board of the student-led organization Wolverines Against Racism. She graduated with honors from the University of Michigan in 2021 and is now settling in her new role in the Minnesota Vikings as their football operations coordinator. Isn't that great that she's from Minnesota and she is working for the Vikings? She's saying that her past experiences working and participating in sports have led her to reaching this moment in her career where she's working for the Vikings as their football operations coordinator. She wanted to make sure she stayed in the industry because she loved it. It taught her the skills she needed to excel, whether it was competitive gymnast, because she also did that. She was a collegiate triple jumper. And as we know, collegiate cheerleader. Each of those experiences gave her grit, gave her determination, and a willingness to learn and continue to grow in her career. And again, she has that bachelor's degree in sports management and a minor in business. So she got the education to back up her experience being in sports and around sports. She had the privilege of interning with the University of Michigan's football team in football recruiting in 2017. She also worked with the Learfield IMG College, which was renamed the Michigan Sports Properties, in sponsorship linked marketing in 2019. And lastly, with the Minnesota Vikings. So she started there as an intern, and look, she got a permanent position with them. So I think it's great. So again, I hope she continues to do great things. She attends the Women in Football Careers Forum. She was one of 40 women who were selected to attend the 6th annual NFL Women's in Football Careers and Forum last year. So again, I mentioned that program last year. As we can see, it is elevating women. It is giving them a chance to continue their career in football, in the NFL, or if they want to grow in their college careers, that's great. So again, she's working with the Vikings in their football operations coordinator. And so congratulations, Milan Burgess. I hope I see you continue to grow. I hope I see greater things, either grow more within the Vikings, or who knows, move on to other teams or even in the NFL, be an executive there. Because it'd be great to see more women executives in the actual NFL organization. So what do we think, ladies? Kate, I'll shoot it to you. What do you think about Milan Burgess?
I just love that she bleeds maize and blue. I'm still sure to this day. But other than that, and I just love that these women are being daring enough to seek roles in the NFL and they want to be a part of these organizations. And I just love that she was so entwined in athletics in college, because I think that's where these girls get their passions. And I think growing up, it's not shameful, in my opinion, if you're the girl watching sports with your daddy, your uncle, and you're learning and you're like going, I can do this someday. I can be that girl, I can be that man as a woman. And I just give her all the credit in the world for sticking with what her passion was and what her dreams were and her goals, and that she's back with Minnesota, where she's from, and her roots. And I hope to hear and see great things about her. When we cover these women, I tend to go back and check on them and see how they're doing. And especially like the 2 women I covered for my team last year, Tampa Bay, Lori Locust, and oh gosh, I can see her last name, but not her first name, Java Dafar. And I always am seeing where they're progressing in the NFL, and it's pretty amazing to see how some of them have moved up. Like Java Dafar has moved up in the Buccaneers organization since we covered her. So it's really cool to see where these girls are going. And as we say at U of M, I'm sure she's doing this with an enthusiasm known to mankind. Go Blue.
I was laughing because when I was doing research on her, I was like, I didn't even know where she majored in, where she went to school. I was like, oh, of course I picked the maize and blue. And you're right. She does still cheer for them. I mean, she was a cheerleader. Hello. And won championships. So of course she still cheers. Nicole, what do you think about Milan?
I mean, I think she's an awesome, starting out as in going into the coordinator at Minnesota Vikings, and then it being like the same, it's so hard to sometimes to uproot and move to like as a woman and being like, hey, well, we're going to have to make some compromises and maybe move somewhere if I do want to get in that position or something, and we're making sacrifices here and there. But it's great to see that she paved a path forward for herself and staying strong and saying, you know what, I'm going to keep being in my hometown. And I don't know, I like how that shines within almost for her. And then I guess I was trying to see for her Wikipedia. I see her LinkedIn, and it's long with the list of academic, achievements that this woman has is absolutely amazing. So I look forward to actually now looking at the Vikings and looking to try and see if I could spot her on the field or on the sidelines.
Yeah, it would be nice. Yeah. But yeah, so kudos. So that was our woman in the NFL. Anthony Handy, I see you. Thank you for being in the audience. Again, sometimes when I see Katie, someone said for you to take care of yourself. I'm assuming probably Kat. I don't know. It's a Facebook user. But Anthony, in your honor, here's a quick mention of you, and then we'll move on to our next segment. All right. There's a little shout out for Anthony. Our next segment is one of our favorites as well, which is Cause in the NFL. Nicole will be leading that segment today. So stick around for that to learn more. But before we do,
I think it's really nice that someone like Hayden Hurst is coming out and being like, look, you're not alone. Mm-hmm. I'm a big, tough football player, and look at me. Like, I went through it too. Like, anybody can go through it. Doesn't matter how, like, if you're an athlete, if you're a man.
Yes. So I guess we got the floor here with, this is going to be my first cause with the ladies show. And I'm going to be covering the cause in the NFL is My Cause, My Cleats. So My Cause, My Cleats is a player-led campaign that began in 2016. The use of custom cleats, pink for the breast cancer awareness and camouflage to salute for service, sparked an idea. And after talking with various players, the My Cause, My Cleats initiative was born. Tala also believes finding a tasteful way to amend the NFL's rigid uniform policy is something that the NFLPA would welcome. So week 13 in the National Football League is going to be, we already watched it, and you guys saw on the field all of those different colored cleats. And it's kind of nice in the week 13 as, things are getting heated with playoff potentials, and just to kind of take that off a little bit and focusing a little bit about the cause. So week 13 stands on its own in all of the weeks for that specific reason. So all the players are allowed to wear custom cleats with all the proceeds going to a charity of an athlete's choice. Anna Isaacson the NFL's senior vice president of social responsibility, mentioned to this concept 2 years in the making. It was important to give players a platform for their stories to come out and be told. We also wanted to make sure there was a visual element to tell those stories, as she has explained to reports. So yeah, that is the My Cause, My Cleats, and you guys can go online to NFL and see all the players and get a little video clip of what their cause is. So we're going to probably show that to you now.
When I think of Pittsburgh, I just think of, Pittsburgh is small, home feeling, hard nosed, big football fans. I remember growing up as a kid, being the biggest Steelers fan, cheering for Big Ben and them guys.
The game is over. The Pittsburgh Steelers did it the hard way.
I grew up in not the best neighborhood, but, had a mom and a dad that did amazing job as far as, instilling discipline and things like that into me.
Eaten alive by Aaron Donald. Donald does it again. Sooner or later, 99 is going to get you.
Playing sports gave me so much, and gave me this platform and the opportunity to give back to these young kids and push these young kids. Not everybody got a mom and dad that can push them and motivate them, make sure they're doing what they need to do. So having an opportunity to mentor some of these kids and just talk to them in a face-to-face.
You can look on the front of your card, you'll see this strapping gentleman right here.
My cleats are for my foundation, 8099 Solutions. Something I created a couple years ago in the inner city Pittsburgh, just an opportunity to, trying to do things to uplift my community and help other young kids. We trying to create doctors, we trying to create teachers, astronauts. Why not? We want to give these kids as much opportunity as we can to be as successful as possible, because I always tell these kids when I talk to them, I'm living my dream. I remember being 5 or 6 years old talking about playing in the NFL.
Ripped down by Aaron Donald.
And now I'm a grown man. I got the opportunity to teach these young kids the same thing that was taught to me to help me accomplish my dreams. So again, I talk about this platform I'm on to the point where I speak, these kids listen. So I got their ear, so I got to continue to feed them the knowledge. I'm going to keep doing everything I can, using this platform, using my voice, using the thing that was taught to me to instill into the next generation. And hopefully this thing continue to grow and help as many kids as I can.
Nice. Yes. So I was also going to mention, I totally forgot that there's an auction for these cleats. So you guys can go on right now and see the cleats that are all on auction, and you can bid on them. All of that will go to their charity. And I mean, some of these cleats I was looking at are pretty reasonable for a pair of shoes that was worn in an NFL game that is custom for like $300. So go and check out if one of your favorite players and donate and help support their cause.
That was great. Thank you for presenting this. Because you're right. Every week it gives them a, not every week, but week 13, it gives them a chance to represent their favorite cause. And that was just one example. So Aaron Darnold, the Rams. So I figured why not show his cause. And also I love seeing the big defensive guys. I don't know why, but I always love how we see something so different and how caring they are, how giving they want to be. And so I thought, well, the Rams are playing tonight. Let me show Aaron Darnold's cause, so again, just to kind of, and he was able to talk about his own foundation, and so cool, kudos to him and his cause. But like Nicole was saying, you can actually check out all of the cleats that the players are wearing, because there's a lot of teams out there, so you can see this week. They'll be wearing different cleats for different causes. You could check them out. Like Nicole was saying, and yes, they do host auctions to raise money for different charities. So nice job, Nicole. Great cause.
Very good cause.
Over 600 charities are being featured. So
that's amazing. See
yeah,
that? 600 charities. That's amazing.
I want to go on and see how much Aiden Hutchinson's cleats are, because I loved his cleats. Because his was about awareness of self and his charity, and being aware of who you are and being in your right mindset. it was the basis, and his has got the Buddhist Om on it, and I have that tattooed on me, and that's very special to me. If you want to research the Buddhist Om, you'll know what it means and why it's important. But I was like, man, it'd be cool to have his cleats because that is a symbol that is very, very important to my life and how I try to live my life. So these cleats and these causes are pretty spectacular. And another former Wolverine wore a cleat with a picture of one of their biggest fans on it who suffers from an illness, and so he represented his illness by putting his likeness on his cleats. So Josh Uche did that. So it's really cool to see why they picked their causes and picked their cleats. And it's just so meaningful to me to see this because these big tough football players really do have tender hearts at the end of the day. So really good cause, Nicole, to pick for your first one. I can't wait to see which ones you have for us in the future.
Ooh, Sean gave you a shout out, as you can see. Nice job. All right, we are going to move on to our next segment, which is Hot Players of Last Week. All right, let's start with Kate. Who is your hot player of last week?
Well, because I'm sorry, Miss Nicole, I love you to pieces, but because of what this player did, and I'm wearing his jersey, my hot player is Thomas Edward Patrick Brady II. Because of what he did in coming back against your New Orleans Saints, he had 36 out of 54 completions. He had 281 yards, 5.2 yards passing per yard, 2 touchdowns, just 1 interception, 1 sack. Not the best passer rating for him at 84%, but he broke Peyton Manning's fourth quarter comeback. That was his 44th fourth quarter comeback in his career. Down 16-3 with 5:21 remaining. Tom went 14 of 19 for 118 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was 2 of 2 for 13 yards and a touchdown on third down. And he's 45-year-old quarterback doing what he's doing at 24. And if I could give everyone's teams a word of advice, never, ever, ever give Tom Brady time, because he will make the most of those minutes and he will come back and win. So, Tom Brady, I love you, adore you. From my heart to yours, you're my hot player of the week.
It was good. Well deserved, though.
That was funny. All right. So, Nicole, who is your hot player of last week?
My hot player is a player that I have heard about, but never really knew. And I guess, Kate, you with the Tom Brady, and I'm sorry that Janae is not here as a Cowboys, but I am looking at Jalen Hurts. So he's number 1. That's his player jersey. And he's only 24 years old. So I thought that was quite interesting. Like Kate was saying, 45 Brady playing at 20, what he's doing at 24. He represented the Sportswoman Foundation through the My Cause, My Cleats initiative in 2021. So that's what his focus was. And I just liked seeing what he had to say last year about it. He was promoting female involvement in the sports industry, motivated by his mother and sister. So I thought that was cool. Hurts completed 29 of 39 passes for 380 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions on Sunday's win over the Titans. He added also 5 rushes for 12 yards and an additional score. Hurts took to the air a season high of 39 times. Which also led to his best marks in both completion and yards. This is his 3rd game with at least 3 passing scores on the season. So he also has now multiple touchdowns in 7 consecutive games. So he's something that's hot on that field. Watch out. He's on fire. That's all I got for him. But I am going to look at him more because we're going to be going up against him soon. So eyes on the prize.
I love Jalen Hurts.
Nice.
So, and I'm probably one of the rare few in our Let's Talk Football that will defend him like I defend Tom Brady. So I think he's deserving of an MVP. And I just think he's a phenomenal player and a phenomenal young man. So good choice, Nicole.
Definitely. Yeah, it's true, man. We wouldn't have the Cowboys fan on right now. Janae, we love you. Janae's on baby duty, so that's why she's not on tonight, but hopefully she'll be back next Thursday. And so it definitely would have been fun to have her on, as Nicole shared her hot player of last week. I love you, Janae. We can't wait to have you back. But nice job. He balled out, so I get it. My hot player of last week is actually the defense for the Cleveland Browns. So everybody kind of watched the game to see how Watson would do. We all know it wasn't a great first outing. However, all 3 touchdowns that the Browns got were defensive touchdowns. So even though so again, the 3 touchdowns, the 27-14, where they beat the Texans, came from their defense. Denzel Ward, everybody saw that one happen, right? Every time a big guy lumbers into the end zone for a touchdown, I love seeing that. It's a good time. I always enjoy seeing that happen. So Denzel Ward got one. Tony Fields II got one. And even Donovan Peoples-Jones, even though he's their wide receiver, it didn't count as, because we all saw the mistake happen. And so he took advantage. And so that is considered a defensive touchdown. And so as we know, like the touchdown, one of those touchdowns from Tony Fields II was from an interception. He ran it back for 16 yards to get that touchdown. And so again, always a good time to see the defense kind of kill it like that. I like these types of games because it's fun. It reminds me of old school football, you know, where the defense ruled and you just steamroll people. And so anytime I see a defense come in and steamroll a team, it's always a good time. So again, that W, Browns got that W. And it was all because of their defense, because they were all over the Texans. I know people are going to say, oh, the Texans are bad. Yeah, but still, it wasn't their quarterback that got the touchdowns. Just remember that. It was their defense. And so I wanted to make sure that the Cleveland defense got their due and their credit. And so that was my my hot player of last week, which was the Cleveland defense.
Nice. So just a little update in the game tonight. It's 10-0 Raiders and Baker Mayfield's in.
Oh.
No, there you go. Did he start? Because I couldn't find any information on that.
I don't think he started.
No, I don't think so either.
But he's in. And he
all right, there you go, guys. He's suited up.
Back.
He's back. New colors.
People were asking, I know. People were asking in the comments. He didn't start, but he's in there now. Let's see what happens at 10-0. I don't blame Shanahan. Jesus, what's wrong with me? I don't blame the decision. I would have been like, hey, we got you over here. Let's try you out. So there you have it. Mayfield has officially got his first start as a Ram. We'll see how he does. What does everybody think out there? One, who is your hot player of last week? We always love to hear from people watching. Who did you think like just played their heart out last week and just balled out? There's a lot of choices. And then, yeah, tell us what you think. You got your answer. I know people were asking. Mayfield didn't get the start, but he's playing now. And so what do you think will happen now? Does that change people's predictions from earlier? I don't know, but Mayfield is officially in. All right, now we're moving on to our next segment, which is one of our favorites here on the Ladies Takeover show, which is NFL drama. So funny enough, some of that drama is similar stories from the last few weeks. So one of those is, I don't know if you're aware, but last week we mentioned that Antonio Brown barricaded himself inside his house and wouldn't come out to face arrest. Apparently that is ongoing. Now, the reason is because it's a misdemeanor, so police are not going to go in, bust down doors, because it's not like a federal crazy charge. And so they're waiting him out. So there you have it. Antonio Brown is still in his house. I'm calling it a house, but we know he lives in a mansion. But still,
Right.
he's in his house. He won't come out, and the police are just negotiating, trying to get him to get out and waiting him out to see if he'll get bored of waiting. But I don't think so, because people have been paying attention to social media. He continues to post photos of women that look like Giselle, because it did come out that the lady that was in that photo wasn't Giselle.
Right.
But
he
still, even though he hasn't come out of his house, he still likes posting photos to social media, alluding to being in bed with Tom Brady's wife. Yes, he's still in his house. Yes, Anthony.
Yeah, he's still there. He's got a big pantry.
Yeah, so he's still there. He hasn't come out. And Sean, good pick. I like Chris Olave. I like the kid. I think he's balling out. I can't wait to see him do more. I actually do think he's really talented. He was a good pickup for the Saints, Nicole.
Yes.
Very good.
So that is the continued NFL drama. Antonio Brown won't come out of his house.
And then we have the ongoing drama with Dan Snyder as well.
So that's also continued. So the House committee, they went to the congressional committee. They actually found fault. Again, not players, not coaches, not just Dan Snyder, but the NFL. So it's getting sticky, guys, because in the 72-page report, they said that the NFL actually hid and covered up, or didn't actually do their due diligence and handle the situation when those allegations came up, and when people, all that Dan Snyder thing blew up a few seasons ago. They're actually saying that the NFL did nothing, tried to conceal it, covered up, make it away, and didn't actually proactively do anything. So again, the drama continues with that. I'm sure we'll hear more as the days go on. But
and it came out that they leaked the Gruden emails as well.
Right. So they're saying, So they're saying Dan Snyder was the one, or his team, or whoever's around him, were the ones that leaked the Dan Gruden emails. So that drama continues. I'm sure we'll hear more as the articles come out, reports come out. But again, I wanted to make sure people know that the drama is with Dan Snyder and the NFL, and the drama is not with the players, the coaches, and the fans. Just want to make sure everybody knew that. But that story does continue, and that's kind of what keeps popping up. But the NFL is also in trouble, so it's not just Dan and his team of cohorts.
Whatever happens, in the ocean, how those things wash up on shore, same thing.
Yep.
Good analogy.
It'll be.
I don't know who you are new here, love it, but I'm glad you love it here. And I'm glad to have a new member watching.
Yay,
we welcome everybody.
Yes, we do.
Ooh, okay.
I would love Oh, that's gonna happen.
So
I'm sure a lot of people would love that.
Yeah, so that's kind of the drama right now. It was a low news week in the NFL. That's pretty much it. That kind of came up. Antonio Brown's continuing, drama there, and Dan Snyder. That's kind of all that's kind of popped up. I guess an ongoing drama might be, what happens with the Rams and their starting QB situation. So I guess it's more concerned than drama, but the reason, that Matthew Stafford hasn't played is since he got that concussion. And they're not really sharing too much. The fact that it's been weeks now and he's not back on the field has people concerned and questioning, like, why isn't he playing? Like, how extensive is the injury? Is it from previous years? We know he's been in the league a long time, and he's suffered other concussions, other hits to the head. And the fact that he hasn't been able to start, and that's so bad that the Rams had to pick up Mayfield when he was cut from the Panthers, makes me leery and actually worry for Matt Stafford and his future in the NFL. And so I did want to bring that up. And what do you guys think out there in the football world? What do the fans think? I do think it's a thing of concern. that he's not playing anymore, and it's been weeks now, and that they signed Mayfield. Remember that he was dropped by the Panthers, and they signed him right away as soon as he was available. So that makes me question, Matt Stafford's and what his future might be just in general. So what do you ladies think about that?
Go ahead, Nicole.
I mean, I think that it'll be quite interesting to see. Actually, ironically, Stafford is an actual QB that I knew way back when, of like me just getting into football. So he's been in the league for quite some time. He was with Detroit, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, and now he's with the Lambs. Maybe he's or Rams. Sorry, I was going to say Silence of the Lambs. Silence of the Rams for him more so.
Right.
But I hope that he's okay. It's weird when we don't hear anything. It's weird because we hear a lot of all the time. So that is weird.
I feel very bad for him because they just signed him to a pretty decent extension out there after he won his Super Bowl. And I really pray for him that his head is okay and that he can return to the field. But like Delilah said, it's very rare where you see them just go out and start signing a player that has been cut from his team. If things are more severe and more damaging, then they're letting us know. So, I'm not a big Stafford fan, but my prayers are with him. And my prayers are with the doctors looking over him, that they don't release him too soon. And that with everything that went on earlier in the year with Tua Tagovailoa, that with all that they are really looking out for these players and their health now, and they're not going to do anything to cause permanent damage. So
Yeah.
I wish him the best. I pray for him, and I hope number 9's back on the field, if not for the Rams, but for our lovely Cat Hughes, who loves and adores Matt Stafford and predicted his Super Bowl win last year. So
Yes, she did.
yes, she did.
She
So if for anything, Kat, I want him back for you.
Yeah. And Nicole, I don't know if you know this, but yeah, she made a bold prediction. She said that make me crazy during our OG show, Janae and Sean's original show.
Oh, cool.
And she made that bold prediction way in the beginning of last year, and people thought she, they really thought she was crazy, but she predicted it.
Yes, she
Hey,
did.
go Kate.
And then, oh, you're welcome. And then she's predicted that her cousins might win a Super Bowl this year. So,
oh no, she was right last year.
Yep. So
Kat,
she's.
Are you on
Kat,
a run right now?
Kat called the Vikings prediction of a Super Bowl this year. I heard her on a show. So we'll see if Kat has a sixth sense about Super Bowls. We'll be going to her for all our predictions.
I will for sure.
Yes.
If she gets this one right, Cats, I will be like, I want to make some money.
Kat, if you're out there, put the vibes out for the Saints to get Peyton Manning on our team.
Yeah, we were actually talking about that right now. It led into the fact that we were concerned about Matthew Stafford. So something of a drama, more serious, not like drama like haha, but more like he hasn't been back in weeks. They're not really forthcoming, or he isn't forthcoming with his injuries and what his status of coming back is. And we did see it as concerning that they did snap up Stafford off the waivers that quickly and sign him to the Rams. And so what does that mean for the future of Matthew? And can he get back out there? And we just want to make sure he's okay. We just want to make sure we're praying he's okay. I feel like he's going to take this serious. Last year, Ash, our former co-host, who we hope comes back to the show, she talked about, and Kat talked about the fact that his wife had a really serious brain illness that happened out of nowhere, and she needed a brain surgery, and all these things happen. And so I feel like them as a couple and as a family take brain injuries more serious, maybe because of what they went through. And so I hope that he's okay. But yeah, I do wonder if he, if he retires after this season, and if we hear, if we're going to hear him go up there and say he can't play football anymore. I don't know. But I'm just saying, I do find the timing, which is why I brought it up, questionable. Of as soon as Baker was available, the Rams were like, we got to sign this guy. And right, exactly. Thank you, Kat. I knew you came and kind of explained some of her behavior, because people were making fun of her, and I appreciate you, Kat, because you're a very kind person. And people were making fun of her erratic behavior, and you explained why some of her behavior might be a little different because of what she went through. And so, again, Matt, I hope you're okay. And so we'll see. I'm sure we'll hear more down the line. But yeah, just wanted to bring that up. So what do you guys think about out there? What do you think about Matt? Tell us anything about the stories, the drama we brought out. What do you think? Is Antonio Brown ever gonna come out of his house and face arrest? Will we see Matt play again, or is this his end of his year? And what do you think? What do you think is gonna happen with the NFL's parts in the Dan Snyder cover up? Because we have to recognize that they were also part of that whole mess. So yeah, share your thoughts. And I guess we will see what happens with these stories as they develop. Maybe we'll have more information next week during our ladies show. And so before we move on to our final segments of the evening, just a quick clip before one of our final segments. All right, everybody. We are winding down.
You're muted. Can't hear you.
Really? Doesn't show me muted.
I can hear you.
Hello?
I can.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I was like, it says I'm not muted.
I
All
can't
right. So one of our final segments of the day is ladies have the final say. And so our final thoughts, all those kind of things. And again, Kate is having some technical difficulties. Hope I want her to join us for the last segment. And so before we do that, our final say, but you need to not give up and just try your best to persevere through whatever you want to reach, right? Whatever goal, whether short goal, long goal, whatever, just perseverance is key. And I know it's hard. All right, so that is our moving on to our ladies have the final say. Nicole, I'm going to shoot it out to you. What is your final say for the evening?
Safety. And I'm not talking about the safety on the field. I'm just talking about general, when you're working in whatever environment, there's hazards. Just make sure to maintain safety, get those stretches in. I say this only because yesterday our company actually had to evacuate the building. There was a natural gas leak. So it was a very trying time for all, especially since it was pretty cold out. And our neighbors ended up taking us in harboring us in there. But we did a whole entire kind of meeting today about what happened, what we could do better, and the plan moving forward. So I just wanted to make aware of safety for everyone. We're all just there to get our paycheck to go home to our families. So in doing those near misses and reporting accurately will help everyone. And all these near misses can eventually lead up to a fatality. So I always think about that in the back of my mind and always to put forward safety. So yeah. Safety moment, safety.
That was beautiful, and I'm glad you had someone that could harbor you and take care of you guys. That's amazing. Thank you to our new fan. It just says Facebook user.
I think it's Nikki Mays.
Hi. Well, Nikki,
or no,
thank
someone
you.
else.
I'm glad you've been watching. Thank you. Glad we have a new fan. Appreciate you watching and tuning in. Kate, are you back? Can you hear us?
Hey. Hello.
We can't even hear your background, Kate, so maybe. Yep, it's Nikki. Oh, okay. Well, hi, Nikki. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you. I'm glad you are enjoying the show. Appreciate that.
Come back next week.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So Kate's having some tech difficulties. All right. So, Cowboys fan. Here we go. They keep growing.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Kate, we can.
I can't hear you guys.
Well, we can hear you.
Just point at me when you want me to go.
All right.
My
Kate's
final thought is, if you can all hear me, I can't hear any of you, is don't feel you have to spend a lot of money on gifts this time of year. Your time with your friends, your time with your families should be enough. We don't always have time, but if you can make time for your friends and your family during the holidays, I think your presence is better than presents. And I think that being together is more important than how many gifts are under the tree, how much money you spend, and all of those things. So just remember, some people just want your presence, not your presents. So if you can just be with each other and love on each other and be there with each other, that to me means more to me. Like, my brother and his family live in Arkansas, and I don't get to see him and his kids very often, and his wife. So they're coming for the holidays. So their presence means more to me than any gift that anyone could ever give me. Like, I'm counting down the days, the hours, the minutes that until they get here. So don't feel like you have to go out there and expend your credit cards and overspend and feel like you have to get a gift for every person you know. Just be in their life, check on them, look after them, send them a quick Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays, and just be in their presence, because let's face it, when we leave this earth, the presents don't go with us, but those memories will last a lifetime. So be with each other, be in each other's presence. Don't feel like you need to break the bank this Christmas if you can't, but just love on each other, be with each other, and just know that your presence is more in time is more valuable than any present you can ever give a person. So with that, ladies, that is my final thought. And just know you guys are my family, and I love being in your presence every Thursday night because I am blessed beyond words to know the two of you. And I miss Janae, and I miss my Ash. We're going to have her back for the holidays. We're going to get her back for a few shows. But just know your presence means more to me than any present you could ever send me or give me. So with that, that's my final say.
That was beautiful.
Love it.
Hey,
I wish I could
you're
hear
always so
you.
eloquent.
It's
That
good.
was beautiful.
I'm going over to celebrating Christmas with my family this weekend, so it definitely makes sense. I love it.
All right, my final say. So something happened, and I can't help it. So there's a local story. So our Starbucks here, I don't know if it's nationwide, but our Starbucks in Chicago updated their system. So before, like, you have mobile orders, you could place it, you could tip on your mobile order. Okay, so here in Chicago, they updated where if you pay with a credit card or debit card, whether it's in the store or through a drive-through, they added that tip feature. Now, the complaints started coming in from customers saying, oh, that's so hard. It doesn't make sense. It's an extra step. And all they do, these are comments I'm reading, all they do is press buttons. Or if they're in the drive-thru, oh, they just hand me a coffee. And I'm just like, is that what you think Starbucks baristas do? Like, when you go into a Starbucks or any chain restaurant, are you not paying attention to the fact that these people are human beings and you do not watch them actually preparing your food? And the crazy orders that people have at Starbucks, no one orders a normal coffee there. You're asking for like 4 shots of whatever with espresso, with oat milk, with sprinkle. You know what I mean? Like, you're making insane orders and you're watching them going around make this for you on top of the food that they're prepping for you. And you think that's easy? And that they're just pressing buttons? And if you're going through the drive-thru, who do you think made that for you? Did that just come out of the ether? No, they made it for you. Even if they're coming through a drive-thru, that person probably did both, ran inside to make your mocha latte, frappuccino, whatever you asked for, plus if you ordered a snack, and came back, or someone behind them made it for you and handed it to them. So when you're tipping, it's not like it's just that person who handed you your coffee. So I don't understand why that is such a huge deal, why people are complaining so much. I've used it. It's not a big deal. You know what it is? You just don't want to you don't not want to see that person see you click no tip. That's what it is. You want to be able to do that and click no tip and go about your day. And then I kept seeing people, oh, it's not a sit-down restaurant. I'm like, where have you been? Yes, they do have sit-down. And sometimes when it's busy, they have to bring out your orders. So I don't understand where this is coming from. So what I want to say is tip your service people. My God. Just tip your service people. They don't make a lot of money. And it doesn't have to be, I get it. We don't either sometimes. But you don't have to tip like $20, you know?
Yeah.
So please just tip your service people. Come on. And I know it's been 3 weeks where I keep bringing this up, but I can't help it when I see stories like this of people complaining, oh, they added a tip option. Yes, I'm glad they did.
Makes it more serviceable for those people that do want to give
yes,
tips,
exactly.
and makes it
And
easier
that's
for
what
them to get
that's exactly
to
what
the others.
That's exactly what I said. I don't always have cash, but I want a tip.
Yeah.
You know, Kate just left because she just can't hear us, and that's okay. She'll see the replay later. We love you, Kate. But all I want to say is, please just come on. And like Nicole said, it does make it easy. I don't always have cash, and I want to tip these guys, and so I'm glad that's an option. And no, there's no difference if you're going through a drive-through. And you're going, if you're going through a drive-through, you're going inside the store. Someone is making that for you. Like I don't know what the issue is. So please tip your service industry people as much as you can. If you don't have a lot, I understand. Give what you can, because they're not making much either.
They take the brunt force of a lot of things. So definitely,
Yeah, exactly. So that's all I want to say. Just not that big deal. If they're implementing these things across the country, wherever, where it's making you decide to tip or not on your card, whether you're doing carry out or you're going and sitting down in a restaurant or you're taking it through the drive-through, someone made that for you. And I don't know if that's not entering your brain that before that was handed to you, whether it was a carry out, takeout, sitting down through the drive-through, someone had to prepare that for you, bag it for you, and put it together for you.
Mhm.
So it didn't just appear. So please tip your service people. Stop complaining. Give what you can, right? And they prefer that. So please show love and respect and just tip your service people when you can. And that's my ladies have the final say. Nicole, thank you. I'm so happy you're going to be a permanent
Yeah.
fixture on our show. Kate, I'm glad you can hear us now from the audience.
Yes.
Janae, I hope you come back next Thursday. We love you. We love you. We love you. We missed you tonight.
Yes.
Everybody out there watching, thank you so much for tuning in on our new show and spending some time with us today and this evening. And we hope we see you next Thursday. Bye, guys.
Bye.